So one of the most common questions that I get in regards to the Navy Federal Auto Loan pre-approved process is what happens once you find the car that you want and it's less than the amount of the check that you got from Navy Federal. So in this video, we're going to talk about it. So when I had got my auto loan, I got the check for $20,000. So usually when you call Navy Federal up, and that's how I did, but you can go onto the site if you want to do it that way. They're going to ask you, do you have a car in mind? I didn't have a car in mind, but I knew that I wanted my auto loan to be 20,000, but I really wanted it to be less, but I got the check for 20,000. So what they'll tell you is once you get the check, you can get a car under the amount and you can even get a car over the amount. But if you get a car for over the amount, then you'll have to call them back. You'll have to call Navy Federal back. And then it's possible that you'll have to go through some additional approvals. But if you find a car that's less, then you're good. The only thing is, once you get that check, that's just your starting point to where you cannot. It's like your budget. So your budget is going to be whatever your check is. So you cannot go over whatever your check amount is. So my check amount was $20,000. So I could not go over that amount, but I could go under that amount. So that's really good. So I was really wanting to go maybe about 17 or 18,000, but that didn't happen. But let's say when you find your car, it's going to be less than your check amount. So in this case, we're going to use a $20,000 check that you get from Navy Federal, but the car that you find is $17,000. So once you have negotiated the amount of your car with the dealer, then you're going to go to the accounting and you're going to give them the check from Navy Federal. And that check is going to have $20,000, but you negotiated with the car dealership for $17,000. So the accounting, they're going to call Navy Federal up because everything is on the back of the check for them to follow the steps. And then they're going to give Navy Federal all the information, the details on the car that you got. So then they're going to let Navy Federal know that even though your check says 20,000, you finalized and negotiated 17,000. So your auto loan is going to be for $17,000, not 20,000, even though that is what you were pre-approved for. So really that 3,000 pretty much just disappears, and your auto loan is going to be for 20. Well, your auto loan is going to be for 17,000. So really, it's pretty much that easy. Once you get the check, you can get a car up to whatever your check amount is, but whatever you negotiate. So if you negotiate 17,000, then that's how much your auto loan is going to be. And then a few days after you complete the process with the dealership, the Navy Federal is going to send you an email so that you can complete the process. So you'll have your letter, and in your letter it's going to say, okay, your loan is for 17,000, and then whatever your interest rate is going to be. And so that's how it happened. And so when I had got my auto loan, I had got my check for 20,000, and then I had got gap insurance. So my loan was for $20,299, and then my interest rate was 2.19% for 60 months. And so that's how you can do. But always go over to the website. So here, let me pull up the website, the Navy Federal website. They have so much information on there. Go ahead and go on there and go under auto loans. And then you can go to the resources, and it's just going to give you so many resources as to, different things. And so for me, it was going to be the calculator because, are you going to buy a new car or a used car? So that was one of the questions that they're going to ask you. And then monthly payment. So I was able, because I did not want my auto loan to be over about $350. So my auto loan ended up being $357. So when you come on here, this is pretty good for you to, just kind of determine, what's going on, how much is the loan going to be for. It's going to give you kind of a starting point, determine even like with the interest rates and things like that. And So it'll let you know, okay, do I want to get a loan for 96 months or 60 months, so that you can get the lowest rate. And then it'll break it down between new, late models, and used. And yeah, but overall, the process for the auto loan is so easy. And so as long as once you get your check, as long as you stay under the amount, but even on the check, it'll tell you you cannot exceed what is on the check, and then you have about 60 days to be able to use that check. But it'll have the expiration date on there, everything. But it is so easy. Just make sure that when you go to the dealership, that because at this point, you don't necessarily have to put a down payment and things like that on there, because you have your check. And do not let the dealership run your credit, because you have your check from Navy Federal. So, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is, what I did, I didn't let them know that I had to check immediately. What I did, I went in and I probably test drove a car or two, and then I let my dealer know, okay, I have a check, so I'm not gonna be, you don't have to run my credit or anything. And he was pretty cool with it, so it wasn't too hard. I just let him know I have the check, and I just wanted to make sure I stay under. But if you find a car, let's say your check is for 20,000, and then you find a car for 30, then you'll have to call Navy Federal up, and you might have to do another kind of pre-approved process on that, so that they can run your credit on there. But it's possible that you can get another check. So, really kind of determine a good amount, so that possibly you don't have to do that, when you're looking for a car. But I hope that this was helpful. And let me know in the comments, are you starting your pre-approved process with Navy Federal? And if you have any other questions, but check out some of my other videos where I was talking about my auto loan pre-approved process when I went to get my. It's not a game.